All right, welcome to the second week of distance learning. So we're going to go ahead and plan on just doing this for the rest of the year, probably. So hopefully you did well last week. The purpose of this is for you to have a little bit of work every day. The first assignment that you are going to work on is actually going to be a 2-day assignment. And so we're only going to do 1 through 18 today. So all you have to do is 1 through 18, and this video is only going to cover the information 1 through 18. So you'll have to tune into tomorrow's video to get the information for the rest of the work. Okay, so that being said, let's go ahead and get started here. And, well, we need to go over how the class is going to work. Okay, every day I'm going to make a video and you're going to be required to watch that video. That is how we're going to learn. And I'm going to make my videos basically between 8 and 11. Maybe we'll extend to 12, it just depends. And from 12 to 2, that is my office hours, and that is when I'm going to answer emails. And this is how I'm going to answer emails. If it's an easy question that I can answer right away, I'm going to do that. If it's a password reset, I'll do that between 12 to 2. If it's a question about something in the homework, I'm going to actually do that in the next day's video so other people can get the same answer also. It's easier to answer questions about math in videos. If it's a question that a lot of people have asked or a lot of people need to know, I'm going to answer that in the videos. Okay, every day the video is going to have an introduction like this, where I'm going to answer questions. So there has been one question that has been brought up. Several students are missing Chapter 4 test, and several students want to redo or correct a Chapter 4 test. And so later this week, I'm going to have that available. It's going to be optional. Obviously, if you didn't take it, it's going to be a 0 unless you take it. It's going to be optional to do the retake. And so I'm going to go ahead, and the retake cannot lower your grade. It can only raise your grade. So later this week, I'm going to have that available on Big Ideas, and you'll just be able to do that assignment. Okay, any more questions about that, email me, and I'll try to get to that today, and I'll answer it in tomorrow's video, because people need to know that. All right, I think that's it. We're starting the next section. We just took a test on Thursday and Friday, so I'm starting the next section here. But we're going to do a little bit of review first, just to make sure that we remember what we're doing after the the Thanksgiving break. Okay, so remember the assignment is going to be on this worksheet. And no, you don't have to print out the worksheet. You can just look on a screen. If you have 2 screens, it's best. But some people don't have 2 screens. A lot of times you can put the worksheet on your phone, and then you can watch the video as you go. But if you can't do that, you just watch the video and then do the worksheet. Okay, so this is 2.0. We're going to start with 1 through 18 on Monday, and we're going to do 19 through 50 on Tuesday. Okay. And again, all of this, if you don't get done on Tuesday, that's okay, because all this is going to be due Sunday. So this one's a little longer assignment, so it might bleed into Wednesday, which I think Wednesdays is a shorter assignment, so it will all balance out. Okay, we're going to start with 1. And so I'm going to show you the work that I want to see, because, well, you can't really write on the PDF, and you can't show your work. So you can show your work on a separate sheet of paper. You can graph on the, you're going to have to do a separate little graph because you can't graph on the PDF. But that's okay. At least they give you that line so you can see if you're right or not. At least you see if you're close to the right answer. So just to remember how we're doing this, I wrote down my problem, and this is what I want to see when you take a picture of this assignment. Okay, so first thing is this. 6x minus 96. X, and I don't know why I put a division. It's just minus. No, it's a division. It's division. I messed that all up. I just got a text and it messed up my concentration. So this is what we're supposed to have done, and this is going to go ahead and be, it goes in there once, so that's -1, and that leaves us with the 36, and so that goes in there 9 times, and so it's -19. That will be on our stuff, and this is going to be, and the arrow goes this way on -19. And this is kind of how the cheap way of graphing. I'll just do this, and I'll need to fill it in. Okay, so that's 1. Okay, let's move on down to a harder problem. And just to get you going, and I don't want to make this video super long. I'm going to try to keep these short. And just so you don't have to spend all day long listening or watching videos. This one's going to be short just to get you started. Okay, this is 3. Just to remind you how this works. Okay, and 354. Okay, distribute property first. 42n plus 18. And there we go. Let's subtract 18. Subtract 18. That's a terrible 50. All right. And so make sure you get that correct. All right. Write that down. And so when you do this, check it with this and make sure you're getting the steps right and being able to show the work properly. I'm writing, of course, a little big than a lot of people would. Okay. And we're going to divide by 42. Divide by 42. And we don't have to flip the sign because there's no negatives. You only flip the sign if you divide by a negative. And so this is here. I'm going to check my graph to make sure that fits on. Well, it's going to fit on my graph nicely. And again, it's a greater than or equal to sign, so it's going to be a circle. Fill that in. And the arrow will be that way, and I'll just label it an 8. Okay, moving down the road here. Let's do the next one. Let's do 2 compounds. Okay. So this is 5, and this is 8. Okay. So remember that this is an and because it doesn't say the word or. So I have 2 answers. I have a left answer and a right answer. And I like to go ahead and just kind of show that. Okay, mainly we have a... My pen is running out. It's not working very good. I might need to get a new one. Most answers have 1, but remember this. So the first step, I'm going to add or subtract something. So I do this. Plus 8, plus 8, plus 8. So I have a right answer and a left answer. Now I'm going to simplify this up. So this is going to be a 0. And this is going to be a 90. Okay, now I'm going to divide by -9. Divide by -9. Divide by -9. I divided, so I'm flipping the sign. Okay, so this would be 0. This would be -10 and p. All right, probably they won't accept this answer. Probably they'll accept the answer like this, where you put the smallest. Okay. And the biggest. In this case, the biggest is 0. Okay, when we graph this, we're going to start with the smallest, -10, and that would be a circle. And then P's in the middle. And then the biggest. And I'm going to do a circle and fill it in because of the less than or equal to. And that would be 0. And that's how you kind of graph it if you don't have that number line. And we can see if it fits on that number line. Does it fit on the number line? Looks like it does. Okay. So moving on to 6. This is an OR. This is an OR. And the reason why I know it's an OR, because says the word or. Okay. Because the ors are kind of separate problems, you can't really write them together. Because remember, and both have to be true for it to be true for the whole problem. Ors, only one of these statements has to be true to be a true answer. So we just basically worked this like two separate problems. So that's plus 10. So that's negative 12. 4r divided by 4 divided by 4. R is less than negative 3. Okay, or minus 5 minus 5. R is, I'm just going to put it all the way down here. R is greater than, make sure I wrote that problem right. I did. R is greater than negative 2. All right, does it fit on my graph? Negative 2, negative 3 is on my graph. And so this is how it's going to work. Well, this R, it's going to be a circle. It's going to start on negative 3. It's going to go that way. Follow that arrow, so that's negative 3. This one is going to also be a circle. It's going to start on negative 2, and it's going to go that way. Okay. And that's it. Okay. So if you can do that, that's basically what we ended up doing last week. So we're going to go all the way, like I said, 1 through 18. We're going to go all the way 1 through 18. And if you want to email, those emails are going to be due, the time that I'm dealing with emails is 12 to 2. Okay? And this should give me enough time, so from 2 to 3, I might be able to make a video to answer questions. Okay, and then that video will come out the next day. All right. So let's get to work, and happy Monday.